We have I combine a gun and a sword. Okay. Oh, it's a Star Rail thing. Ghost Recon Alpha, and you don't want to die a slime girl. You know what? Let's watch. I combine a gun and a sword. I watched a video from this channel before. It was the one where like he's trying to use like water pressure to lift himself up. It was pretty funny. So yeah, I combine a gun and a sword. I did a thing.
How you going? I am bloody sick of the police coming round to my house because apparently I've made something that slightly resembles a gun on this channel and it's stressing me out. So I've told
I saw
myself,
the robot gun too. I saw that one.
I'm never making one again unless someone gives me a lot of money.
Sure. Okay, so I'll make a gun blade. Perfect. That was fast. You know, this guy I did this thing looks like Tommy, main character of Mafia 1.
This video is brought to you by Honkai Star Rail, where they're paying me to make Fei Xiao's gunblade. Now take a look at this bloody sword. It's ridiculous. The blue.
Right away I'm gonna say like this is the right kind of sponsorship. I mean, this sounds much more interesting than like just sponsoring someone to just play the game or something.
The crazy bevels, these spikes.
Like sponsoring like, you know, Star Rail YouTuber to just make another Star Rail video. They were already going to do it anyway.
Sword shoved down the barrel of a gun, but I have no idea how to make it. So I'm going to try and make it easy for myself and split the sword into 3 parts. The blade and then the gun handle thing, which will be 2 pieces that wrap around the blade. But unfortunately it's not going to be a real gun.
I don't think so, yeah.
If Fei Xiao had that blade in Australia,
it's just
they'll
for
get
visual.
locked up for the rest of their life and also get a Daily Mail article written about them. And I'm going to start with the sword and stick everything on later. And if I was a real Japanese sword master guy, I would spend months hand making a perfect steel billet with a soft core for strength and a hard outer edge of high carbon steel for hardness, which I would then meticulously shape into a blade before I hang myself. But I don't really feel like doing that. So it's all going to be made out of one piece of steel because it's strong and most importantly cheaper. Because I have a feeling I'm going to screw something up.
It's more like just like a bayonet musket kind of thing, right? So
I'm going to use this big piece of 1084 steel, and if you don't know why it's called that, I'm not going to tell you. Okay, I traced a rough sword outline onto it, and to keep this authentic, I'm going to cut it out with the same methods of Japanese samurai, a laser machine.
Wow.
And if you're following along at home, you may not have access to a laser machine like me.
I assumed.
A laser pointer, zip tied to a grinder, will also work. And a random Chinese company sent me this, and I don't know why they thought, hey, let's send a guy that barely knows how to weld, that is also likely on multiple watch lists, a laser powerful enough to blind his whole neighborhood. But I'm glad they did.
I was gonna say, what happens if you use this on yourself? He did it on his fucking
I don't know how to use this, and it's destroying the concrete behind what I'm cutting. So I'm going to figure it out another time and just use a grinder.
Ah.
And after 4 hours of grinding, I realized a problem. I cannot pick this sword up with one hand. And I have 2 options. The first and my favorite is roids, and the other is being lame and using 2 hands to pick it up. So I could just leave the bottom part unsharpened so I can put my other hand down there. Or I could do both. And I don't know what kind of juice the characters from Honkai Star Rail are on, but no normal human can pick this up with one hand. And I'll deal with that later. And now to clean it all up. Another problem with making the sword is the edges. It's like Honkai were trying to make it hard for specifically me to make. Like, what is this? What is that? What is this thing? And most importantly, what is that? How am I meant to make this?
Wow.
But it does look pretty cool. And it's pretty scary grinding in between the sharp spikes, as I feel like I'm going to catch the disc and it's going to explode. It also feels a little bit unethical, as I'm sure the metals felt safe back there. But I got it. Then I spent another 2 hours filing in every direction possible.
I guess he has some proper blacksmithing skills.
With my hole. And Fei Xiao has a fairly small hole, and it comes to here on the gun, but I'm going to make their hole bigger to save some weight. And I've got a couple of options for the
blacksmiths
hole.
that made
easiest
icon
would
sword.
just be sticking a picture
Yeah, I remember. I think I did react to that video. Yeah. It was pretty sick.
of the background on the front, as that involves minimal tool use. But I'm going to try just drilling a million holes and connecting them and milling it all down, which took a lot longer than just milling the whole thing out. But in the process of milling, I must have struck a 2-for-1 deal on blades, and I got this sick bread cutter.
I haven't played this in a while.
Okay, now
Should
I
I
need to
get
start
Fitchao?
work on the bevel, and to pretend I'm actually
I mean, depends if you need her, really, but she's very cool. Also, right done, Naginata.
a blacksmith and make this video longer, I'm going to make the bevel on the anvil, which means I need a forge. And I have one, but it's not going to fit the sword, so I need to make another. So first I drilled holes in this pipe until I had enough to make the world's largest Peruvian flute.
Whoa.
Then I got some bricks
Beautiful.
from the nearest construction site. And I'm going to use charcoal, as that gets real hot and will also fly everywhere and burn me. Now to be safe, I started with a test piece, as I have no idea if I can even make bevels.
Okay. Well, some
And
then
I'm going to
shoes.
try to compress the end without spreading it out too much, as a random bloke on the internet told me that's bad to do. But after doing some hitting for a couple of minutes, this is all I had done, which would take way too long.
Okay.
So I'm taking the sword back to grinder. Okay, I don't really know what I'm doing with the bevels, but I know that I just wanted to come down from this line on both sides and meet in the middle. So I kind of just started grinding. And it took me a while to figure out how to even do this. At first I was kind of randomly running it along, but then I discovered if I get my head really close to the grinding belt, you can see where it's contacting the blade. Then I realized I could set the rest angle I want and press the blade up from there. Which sounds easy, but the blade weighs around 10 kilos or 20 pounds. And after almost a full day of carefully grinding these bevels with minimal screw-ups, I'm pretty happy with it, and even managed to get the same bevel points that Fei Xiao's sword
That's what you mean
has.
by bevel.
Now, before I harden the blade in the forge, I'm going to tell you more about the sponsor of this video, Honkai Star Rail. Honkai
Sure,
Star Rail
tell
is a
me.
space fantasy RPG from HoYoverse, the makers of Genshin Impact. The game has accumulated over 100 million downloads within a year since its release, and also won Best Mobile Game at the TGA, the Best Game for Google Play, and the Best Game for the App Store in 2023. As a trailblazer, explore different worlds across the universe and immerse yourself in an adventure filled
I'd say
with
it's pretty alright.
impeccable animations and music. It is a turn-based experience which is easy to play.
But if you
yet
sponsor
highly
me,
tactical,
yeah,
allowing you to
I'd say
conjure
it's pretty
unique
great.
team lineups and strategies according to content.
I'd say it's
such
my
as
favorite
enemies,
game.
environments, characters, and more. There are over 50 characters, including Fei Xiao, who is a new character of the game
Save your
and is a
currency.
master of all weapons and also seems to have copied my sword.
But if you already
design.
have broken
In the game,
team,
you search
broken
for treasure
characters,
chests, solve puzzles, explore each NPC stories, and
you don't
uncover
need to
the
save.
secrets of the world.
You suck
It is
at
seriously
unbased.
the most fun I've ever had while playing a video game. And
Okay,
it's
like,
available
auto mode, like most of Star Rail, like 99% of Star Rail is played auto mode, right? Like it's just about having the strong characters. Nope.
for free on PC, mobile, and PlayStation. So go download the game and try out Fei Xiao and their gunblade using the link in the description. Alright, back to the hardening. And hardening is when you get the metal rod hot and aroused, and then you quickly dunk it in a liquid to cool it down, locking it in the hardened state.
Argenty stuff.
Now there are fancy tools called Lieb hardness something, which press down onto the metal to see if it's quick.
Yeah. I remember like on stream the first time I fought Argenty, I was stuck for a bit. Yeah, that's a bit of a pain. I mean, I don't know if Fitchao would be a great choice right now. Yeah. Like this Black Swan right now on banner. That might be good for you. I don't know. I don't know who else you have and all that, right? Like, take a screenshot of your team, post it on Discord, and experts will advise you, I'm sure, of what you should pull for.
To an acceptable hardness. But an easy way to do it at home is with the bite test. And depending on how many teeth you break, that is usually a certain hardness, which also depends on calcium intake and your gum health. For example, with this piece of hardened steel, I broke 3 teeth, so I'm at a Rockwell hardness level of 86, which is good enough for a sword like this. So I put it in.
Oh, that's pretty good already.
And within 5 minutes, it got red hot, so it was ready for the quench.
Okay. Wow. He's really the type of YouTuber, like, you know, there's two types of YouTuber that do like dangerous stuff for views. Like, this is the fun type. Huh? Well, like, sure, like he's doing a lot of dumb stuff, like for like the entertainment. Huh? But there's a side to it that feels like good compared to like other people who do like dumb pranks that are super dangerous for entertainment. I guess maybe the difference is like this guy is only like enjoying himself, right? So whatever. I think anyone's going to get inspired the phone.
Happy, as the blade bent. Then when I tried applying a little bit of pressure to straighten it out.
Why is that f***ing cracked?
Okay, well. I think that's how you're supposed to treat it though.
It snapped, and a week's worth of blood, sweat, and hiring stripper cops were all wasted.
Stripper cops, huh? Wow. How sad. Would he go to just get a real blacksmith to do it?
So I took Facial's sword to Corin, who has the biggest shed in Bowral. And then Corin recommended we take it to his mate's place, Keith Flutter, master bladesmith, who also has a great shed.
Just get a professional to do it.
You did quite nice.
Wait, what did he say?
Great shed.
Men cave rules, the following are not permitted. Women, unless topless. Talking about feelings. Okay. Damn.
You did quite a nice job on the grinds, really.
Well, I mean, yeah, and then I f***ed it all up by jumping in my pool with it.
Oh, you jumping with it?
I keep telling you more and more, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Were you in the nude?
I wasn't in the mood.
Oh, okay.
I did consider it.
Do you have your apron?
Wow.
They told me I did 4 things wrong. Firstly, I heated up the blade lying down, which causes it to warp. And then I heated it up to red in sunlight, which meant the blade was actually way hotter than it should have been.
Oh,
And
sunlight
the grain structure
matters.
in the metal got real weird and sandy. Thirdly, I shouldn't have quenched it in the pool, as the chemicals in
figured.
salt ruined the blade, which might
Yeah.
have been the reason for all the cracks. And lastly, I burnt my trees above the forge. I don't know how they knew that, but they are right. And with those 5 things in mind, they thought the blade would be impossible to fix, as we
Yeah.
couldn't even weld it, as the grain structure was real bad.
We better off just profiling a new one, Keith.
I think.
So we decided to knock out a new one in record time.
Okay. The answer is always just let the pro do it. Okay, he's doing that with only like glasses. You know, someone is a, like, in a weird way, someone is a pro where like they use the least safe way to do it.
Then, once we had made the shape, it was time for
Wish I could see the
Master
apply
Keith
to
put the
Mr.
bells
I
on
just
it.
did the same.
Hurry up, Keith. Just slap some devils on it. They can't be any worse than his work. Shut the fuck up.
Imagine he had to use the sponsorship money just to pay those guys to actually do the blade. So he didn't get anything in the end.
Then it was time to do the heat quench the right way in a proper forge with a proper tank.
It's no swimming
Yeah.
pool, though. I'll tell you that.
It's not
Doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit?
But it wouldn't fit, so Corin and Keith decided to heat it up with Oxy. And in 2 hours together, we made a blade that took me a week to make. And these blokes saved my blade and the video. And Keith Flutter also does knife making courses, so you can come along and make a blade with him just like me. And while I was there, I was chatting to Corin about Facial's blue sword and how I could do that. And he told me he has the perfect thing, a laser, which he uses to put amazing coloured engravings on custom tools that he makes, like this center punch or this hammer, which magically
That looks
straightens
sick.
metal. And I don't know how this hammer works, and I don't want to know. And you probably think I could just do the colouring with a laser on the one I have at home, but no, I can't. So we set up at Corin's and started to work out the design. And because of the length of the sword, we won't be able to do it in one go, and we need to break it into bits. So we put the first part in and let the laser rip. And the laser works in a similar way to colouring a blade by heating it, as steel at a certain temperature changes colour, so you can do the same with a laser at a certain frequency, or so we thought. And the first part came out real nice, and looks like a very similar blue to Facial's blade.
You're telling me to pick it up because you're going to laser me and burn me?
But it didn't go smoothly on the other part, and we spent all day doing this.
I mean,
The blue is beautiful, but yeah, it definitely doesn't match. But that gold.
Like again, I wonder how much sponsorship money you get for like a video project like this. Because again, like this is a massive project to do something like this compared to like, you know, just playing the game or something.
Is exactly the same.
And eventually got a blue blade, which doesn't look exactly the same as Fei Xiao's blade, but it's pretty similar. All right, I'm nearly done now and just need to make the handle, which is the gun, but not a gun. And because I'm lazy, I'm going to 3D print them. And this was my first print,
3D
which
print.
took 12 hours, and I stupidly didn't measure it properly for the blade.
Of course.
And it's also not very strong. So I printed 2 more, which took me 48 hours, which for the Americans watching is 2 whole sleepy times. Then I stole Alexa's Warhammer paints and started painting.
Warhammer paints. These guys. Out of these friends, or it's actually like random strippers here.
Now to glue it all together, using my second favorite 2-part epoxy, 69 epoxy. Second to rim job epoxy. And after cleaning up all the creamy bits, it was done. This giant, beautiful sword.
Okay. The coloring though makes it look all plastic. The snail.
And it is barely liftable with one hand. And after a quick sharpen, it was
least crazy UK knife.
time to see how it compares to a regular sword. Okay, I've set up a forged in fire style gauntlet for Alexa and I. And first, we
But
have the
can it
fish chop
kill?
to test sharpness.
I think for the rules of this game, we get 1 swing each. So I'm going to try first, and then you're going to get a cut.
I don't want to be next to you while you
Where do you want to go? This is kind of scary.
behind the camera.
Ready?
Yeah.
3. What do I want to hit? There. 3, 2, 1.
Oh!
That's sharper.
Sword!
It kills.
Down to my back.
Oh, sorry,
My leg
sorry.
with your sword.
Hi.
That's a clean cut.
That's insanely good.
Alexa, now it's your turn to cut a fish.
Oh, sick.
Let me get your fish.
Okay.
Well, that's a look
Take a
at.
look at your fish.
So the size that matters.
What do you even find? What even? Is that a sardine?
You love sardines.
I do love sardines.
That's smaller than
Not
sardine.
Throw the sword at me, please. Whenever you're ready. You,
Oh!
Yeah, actually, cat.
Slice of it off.
you samurai!
Okay, I was not expecting that to work.
That was beautiful. I was not expecting it to work either. That's why I gave you a stupid small fish.
All right, next we have the hardness test with this rack of sweet baby Ray's ribs.
3, 2, 1.
Oh!
No way!
Amazing.
Wow.
Where did it even go? Oh, there it is.
Wait, it cut through the bones.
I feel like I'm gonna miss this and just slice my own foot off.
That is
What if I
insanely
do it-
sharp, I mean.
What if I do it like that?
That's a good idea. What the?
My sword sucks! I did
But it's not
nothing.
really made for
I
this.
didn't even get it off the rope.
You're saying you want to eat this?
You wash it with water.
Yeah, well, that's actually going to be delicious.
It's gonna be great.
And then
Yeah,
finally,
just wash it.
after we potentially ruined their edge, it was time for the water test, which every man with a sword is
Oh.
obsessed with doing.
Alexa, after your last results, I've got high hopes. Whenever you're ready.
Damn.
Oh,
That's
yeah, that felt
perfect.
Whoa!
The fact they didn't even run off the table.
Up and then up.
good. I smell like beer now. This is great.
Wait, how does that make any sense?
Right. How does it make
That's
sense?
actually impossible what you did just did, Alexa. One.
Oh,
Okay.
I got beer in my eye.
wait, what even happened?
Who do you think won that? Yours were definitely cleaner.
Yeah, my thing stayed pretty much in the same position.
Yeah.
But is that? I don't even. We didn't really set the parameters for the test before we did it. We just wanted to hit the bottle.
Yeah.
You know what? Do you want to just call it a draw?
Sure.
It's a real sword.
It's a good sword.
It's a good sword.
Good
Thank you to
one.
Honkai Star Rail for sponsoring this video and allowing me to make this sword. So go download Honkai in the description below. And also big thanks to Keith and Corin for helping me out. Thank you so much for watching. If you like that, please subscribe
Okay,
and check
pretty
out
good.
some of my other videos.
Pretty good. Actually, less unhinged than some of the other videos I've seen from him, but still kind of unhinged, I would say. Kind of unhinged, yeah. But very fun. Okay, that's good. I mean, as much as I enjoy like a proper video like this, you know, we'll watch the one for Akadon of like doing the blade properly. It's fun to see someone just, you know, Like, I wonder how they approached him, like, because he's not a blacksmith, right? So, like, did they actually ask him at first to do a blade, or did they just ask him, you know, we'd like to do a collab with you, what would you want to do? I mean, obviously, it's probably not about just playing the game, right? So he was like, I'll just make a blade. Alright. Really fun video. Okay, that was interesting. That was a fun one. I mean, yeah, this is the kind of good, like, you know, sponsorship thing. Like, it's, you know, I understand that they need to sponsor people just playing the game, but this is much more fun as far as like sponsored content. Like, clearly this is probably not the type of guy who would actually play the game that much or anything, but as far as making a really fun video out of it and different from the usual one, this is worth it. I mean, yeah, I like it.